Okay, everybody, I'm going to go over how to do the math for the Super Bowl math that you did yesterday. And I got to tell you, I was very impressed with your answers for the first two slides. Everybody in the room seemed to get those right. Some of you rounded up to $6. That's fine. I still counted it. I haven't graded it yet because I still want y'all to put in the correct answer for the last one. Okay, so let me go over the math so that you can remember what you did or write it down for yourself in someplace safe so that you can maybe use this in the future if you are required to do so. So here we go. The first question was talking about the 2019 Super Bowl ad that cost $5.2 million. And I wanted to know how many 12 packs of Coke at $5.99 would have to be sold in order to pay for that. So you have to set up a proportion. And the proportion is the cost of the ad divided by the cost of the 12 pack. And that would equal the number of 12 packs needed. This is Kinsey. He likes to help with videography. Say hi. Okay, get down. All right. So we had $5,200,000 to spend for the ad. Each 12 pack was $5.99. And that is divided, and you would get 868,113 12 packs needed in order to pay for that Super Bowl ad in 2019. Going on to the next one, I asked the same question regarding the ad that was made in 2021. So in 2021, it cost $5.5 million. So again, you had to set up a proportion for the cost of the ad over the cost of the 12 pack. And that would equal the number of 12 packs that you needed. So again, I've written it out. 5,600,000. Oh, I typed wrong. It's 5,500,000 divided by 599, and you get 934,891 packs were needed to be sold. Now, this was the hard one. And the reason why everybody got this wrong, I looked very closely at what you answered and how you explained yourself, is you still were in the mind set of how many 12 packs it would take to pay for an ad. And that's not what I was asking. I was asking, how long does it take Coke to sell enough 12 packs to pay for the ad? Now, I gave you a fact that over 1 billion servings of Coke are sold every day. So 1.7 billion servings of Coke are served every day. That could be a can, that could be a bottle, it could be a glass at a restaurant, it could be a Polar Pop at Circle K. That number is important to the math. And then the number that we're going to use for a day is 24 hours. So let me show you how this is set up. You have to set up a proportion, and the proportion is understood like this. Coke makes or serves 1.7 billion servings of Coke in 24 hours. Okay. And I wanted to know how many 12 packs, which we found out already was going to be this number for a 30-second ad at the Super Bowl. So the X down here stands for how many hours does it take to sell that much. In a day, they sell 1.7 billion. That's 24 hours. And I wanted to know how many hours it takes them to sell this many, which is how much they had to sell in order to pay for the Super Bowl ad. Pause if you need to think about that. Write down the proportion. The next part is after you cross multiply. So let me go back one. You have to cross multiply X times this number and 24 times this number. Whenever there's an equal sign in between two fractions, that's the math you do to solve for the variable. So moving ahead, I've already done that here. So I've cross multiplied and you're left with 1.7 billion x equals this number times the 24 hours. And once you do that, you get this proportion set up. So you have 1.7 billion x equals, I multiplied using my calculator what those numbers were going to be, and then we have to get x by itself. So we have to divide by this constant on both sides. You have to use a calculator for this. I do not expect you to hand divide these or very large numbers. So after you do that, you get this number. Try it out. Pause the video, go back a slide, and take 22,197,384 divided by 1,700,000,000 into your calculator and see what you get. You're going to get a number that is 0.013 something something something. Well, that doesn't matter. We don't need to know the rest of it. All we need to know is this 0.01. That's a pretty small number. And what does that x mean? Well, if you remember the original proportion, we had the servings served in a day, 24 hours. And then we needed to know how many 12 packs had to be, how long it would take to sell those 12 packs. So X here is a time. It's not a number of 12 packs. Then you need to consider, what does this mean? Well, since X is a time, this means that it is 1/100th, that's what this decimal place is, of an hour. So what does that look like? What does that mean? When we convert decimals into fractions, you take the number that's in the place, which is the 1, and you put it over the place value, which this is the hundredths place. This is tenths, this is hundredths. It's like a penny if you're thinking about money. There's 100 pennies in a dollar. So we have to set up a bigger proportion here, because now we have to find out what is 1/100th of an hour. What that means is, if you took an entire hour and you cut it into 100 pieces, what would that be? So I have written the proportion. So you see that 1/100th here? That is right here. You see it right here. 1/100th of an hour. So hour is multiplied by this. Then the next part of the proportion is, there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. Okay? You could stop there and take 60 divided by 100, and you're going to get 0.6. But if I said to you, what is 0.6 minutes? Nobody knows that. What is that? So we're going to go a little bit further to figure out how many seconds. So since there are 60 minutes in an hour, the other thing we know is that there are 60 seconds in a minute. And when you write this out on your paper, you can cancel like terms. So you can cancel hour with hour, and you can cancel minute with minute, and you're left with seconds. So go ahead and put in your calculator 1 times 60 times 60 and hit the equal sign, and then hit the divide sign, and it's 100. That's the only thing that's in the bottom here. And you should get 36 seconds. What does that mean? Well, it means it only takes Coke 36 seconds to sell. If they had to pay for a Super Bowl ad today, and the 12 packs are $5.99, and a Super Bowl ad costs $5.5 million, they would only have to sell their products for 36 seconds. in order to make enough money to pay for that ad. That is a lot of money per second.